Welcome. We've just driven our Hymer camper called Benny over from Christchurch to Akaroa to check out the area. We'll be staying in a Freedom camping spot right in Akaroa Township. In the second part of this episode, we'll be driving over to Okains Bay on Banks Peninsula. We're just cruising and we welcome you along for the ride. Well, it's great to be back at Akaroa again. It's just a small town with 780 population, but an explosion of visitors that pop over the hill from Christchurch, which is only about 80 kilometres away. It works out that you can only stay here for 2 nights at this wee park up beside the yacht club, but it's a great spot just to wander along from the town, which is only 5 minutes walk. We're off to investigate the town. One thing was very noticeable throughout the town is that the people had a lot of pride in their gardens. Heaps of roses out at this time of the year. Last time we were here, the streets were packed with people due to a couple of ships that were in the harbour, but this time just so much more peaceful and relaxing.
This is the library building that was erected in 1875 to house the library, which was formed in 1863. The land was donated by Dr. Daniel Watkins and they built it in 1901.
Okay, the ones on the right hand side in the ladies' room we keep, and the ones on the left hand side, the fiction here and the non-fiction in the other room we sell. Either $3 or $4. So we're just run by volunteers.
That's quite a good idea. That's a good model.
So we can keep the building.
Yeah, good idea.
Keep the building open.
Akaroa was founded in August 1840 by French settlers. It has been suggested that the French interest in New Zealand was speeded up by the Britain's decision to annex New Zealand. By the time the French settlers arrived, the Treaty of Waitangi had been signed. The Crown decided that any agreement between Maori and the French was illegitimate and any land was to be returned to them. But many French stayed on in the area.
This stone is erected to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the arrival of French settlers who landed near the spot on 6th of August 1840.
And if you're wondering what the banging is, they're putting in a new wharf here by the looks of it. Had a lot of tourist boats coming in here after the Littleton got shook up with the earthquake, and put a lot of pressure on the main wharf, so I imagine this is a new one going in.
Last time I came to Akaroa, I booked myself into a swim with the dolphins. We went out, not too far out, and put on wetsuits and floated around, and the dolphins all swam around us. Had hot chocolate on the way back. It was pretty nice.
So it's back to the camper for the evening, where we had a little visitor. You're going to use the doorway, okay? So next morning, we're still at Akaroa. We've stayed our 2 days in our Freedom camping spot down by the harbour. We're just saying that we think that Akaroa here is as close to Russell and the Bay of Islands as you might get. I see there's lemons growing in some people's gardens. It's nice and bushy and it's got the old historic town buildings. So if you haven't been here and you're a South Islander, you know, definitely get here. It's a beautiful spot, right beside the sea. Lots of coffee shops, eating places, and quite good quality. What did you think of Akaroa for a good place to stay?
Yeah, pretty good actually. It was a shame we couldn't do the third night, but it's a pretty popular site where we are. We've got to move on.
So we're just heading down the supermarket to get some stocks, and then we're going to head over to Okains Bay. Last time we were over there, I think there was a museum over there.
There's a big marae complex in Otahu at Okains Bay.
Yeah, there's a camping ground over there, so we hunted that out, and at this time of the year it won't be too busy, being November. Not much to buy really, just a top up on drinks. So I like that Kerry's cranberry, some bananas, some bread, toilet paper and milk. As I said, the essentials. Okains Bay, here we come. We're at the top.
This is called the Summit Road, so one way to Akaroa and one way to Christchurch, or over the hill to Okains Bay that has a general store.
Certainly can't hurry with sheep on the road. I've seen a few sheep actually. Certainly an adventure coming down here. Don't be fooled, this is a lot steeper than it looks on camera. So we're in first gear going down the hill, just taking my time. I think we're only doing about 10 kilometres an hour. Certainly wouldn't want to give your brakes too hard at the time down here.
Welcome to Okains Bay. We've got a museum on the right and we've got the Otahu marae on the left. There's a big waka actually you can go and look at. And there's a store down here.
Got a look?
Yeah. It might not be open. School. I wonder how many kids go to it. Here's the cool shop.
This store was built in 1878 and was one of the only stores on Banks Peninsula. But do pause if you want to read.
Look at these hats here, look. You get hot. What does it look like?
Alright.
Yeah.
A nice big brim.
I've got birthday money. There's knuckle bones. Oh.
What's that?
Knuckle bones that we used to play as kids.
So we might be back to the shop very soon because they are open to 7 o'clock and they do fish and chips as well. So
Friday night.
a good idea for a Friday night. That concludes our trip over from Akaroa to Okains Bay, which is 21k, but make sure you leave at least an hour to do that distance. That's the office over there, is it?
Let's go. We'll just go over there.
Go over and have a look.
Yeah. 16 a night. Feel good.
So we're all paid up to stay here 2 nights. It was $56 for 2 with the motorhome membership. I think it was what, $6 or $8 we got off with the
I think
Motorhome
so, yeah.
Association. Anyway, there's not a lot of facilities here. There's no power or anything like that, and the water's got to be boiled. But there'll be plenty of spots, and they tell us they've got a flash opening gate that reads our number plate. So let's see. Look at that. We're in the most modern thing in Okains Bay. A gate that reads a number plate. Excellent. There's heaps of space in here. There's quite a few caravans that look like they're just parked up but not being used at the moment. So we'll just have a wee drive around, see what there is. Just have a look.
In here.
Just have a look what the street looks like. You need to park up somewhere away from those pine trees because pine cones can come down and smash the solar panels. But there tends to be plenty of space in the wide open areas. I'll just check out this estuary. Checking out the sand here. There's been somebody stuck, and we can get out to the beach here quite easily. Let's go and check it out. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. And also we've got like a bit of a clearing here that we can see through from the camper. I feel like we're far enough away from those pine trees to not have any cones fall on our head in the middle of the night. So I think we'll stick with this for the meantime, and we can always move if we want to later, can't we? Excellent. Oh well, 30 years ago we were at Okains Bay. And never stayed at this camping ground, but just visited for the day, so it'll be nice to stay here.
We're only here for about a couple of hours and Amanda's in the water already. A nice safe beach, but you have to walk out quite a way to get into deeper water. Oops, Amanda's dropped her plastic container with her sea soap in it.
You never believe it, but my first swim for 2024, and it's like bath water to start with, and then it's warm just out there. It's not even cold.
Just taking a walk out at low tide for an investigation to see if there's any mussels or pippies. I think we've seen somebody collecting some out here already. We'll go and have a look on these rocks over here. They're a little bit small, the old mussels, but they'll do. Really need your togs on to go further out.
I'll leave Amanda to cook up the mussels for our nibbles tonight and head over to the store and get some of those fish and chips they're talking about. This is where our wee electric bikes come in handy when we need to go and get something at the shop. Hello, could I have 2 cod and chips, thanks? There you go. I've actually ordered 2 cod and chips from the shop next door, which is just there. Ground, it's about 3 kilometres, I guess, down to the shop. Anyway, what do you think about the unique phone booth? There we are, the local book exchange. There must be some very cool books if they're kept in a fridge. Fridge isn't going. That's lucky. Fish and chips are ready, so pop them in the basket of the wee bike and head back to the camper. They had a captive market for the fish and chips, but they were a good price in general.
It's the next morning and we're still in Okains Bay campground. We're going to go around to the village where there's a museum and the marae with a big walker in front.
It's a bit soft, the old sand up here as we go out, so we'll see how the rear wheel drive goes through that. There's the kitchen facilities. There's 2 or 3 of them dotted around the camp to use with washing machines. The toilets were all very tidy and clean. They've got a few locked up, which they use in peak periods over summer.
There's a little river jail.
It's definitely worth a visit to the museum. The number of exhibits that they have, both Maori and colonial, is just absolutely amazing and beautifully presented. I liked how the museum is split amongst multiple buildings, each with a purpose, like the blacksmith shop. The main museum buildings were packed with information and collections.
We're standing outside a sailor's cabin, and they used this type of cabin as it was portable and moved from vessel to vessel as required. It was given by David Bundy in 2008, and it was owned by a guy who used to use it as a woodshed.
To be honest, if you only came to Okains Bay just to see the museum, you'd find the trip well worthwhile. You can spend hours in here reading about all the exhibits. One building held a comprehensive collection of Maori exhibits, cloaks, birds, weapons, you name it. It was something special. If you get permission from the museum, you can go across the road and have a look at the Maori Waka, which is on the edge of the estuary. When we're looking at the Waka, we noticed that there was a ramp down to the estuary edge and there was a spoonbill feeding on the side. But anyway, we're going to leave you there because next episode we'll be showing you a bit more around Okains Bay as I go and have a look at Little Okains Bay and hunt out for a cave that they said was there. And we'll also be popping over to Pigeon Bay. So join us again next time. Thanks very much for watching. It's great to have you along.